that needs answers. So I know we talked about park capacity, and I know Mr. Little is saying that that's gonna now be his role to ensure that people are checking up on things, and people are having weddings, and they're not approved. There's gonna be a group of people that are gonna go around. So is there a specific question that we need Mr. Little to answer? Or are we just stating different facts?
No, there's specific questions that need to be answered here. Um, I wanna make sure that we, define what is the capacity that we're not allowing. Because I don't want, just say for instance, Lil Edward to come and have a birthday party out there, and it go from 100 to 200, and we say Lil Edward can. So are we defining certain parks for certain things? And if we are, then we need to separate the certain parks for certain things, and not say that. That's the only thing I'm asking. If we're gonna do city center park for certain things, then let's separate that and let's move on with the other parks. And then we come back with a resolution defining city center park as city center, whatever we need to do with city center park.
That's
Because
what
if
this
we're
is
gonna,
doing.
but I don't see that. And maybe, it says, this resolution says, the city of Ann Arbor has a number of parks throughout the city, including downtown City Center Park, Gene Clark Park, Yarborough Park, Hall Park, June Woods Park, Union Park, and others. Some of which the city allows short-term rental leases for certain events. All right, number 3, whereas the city, the manager and staff wants to ensure that events that are large have the potential to become large and possible difficult to control are cited and approved for park locations suitable for the potential size of events, and whereas the city has begin to charge reasonable service charge to offset park maintenance costs in addition to, deposit for cleanup, and on and on and on, basically with that. But what I want to do, and I think that we need to define which parks are we setting aside. What do you mean?
Next paragraph.
Now therefore be it resolved, that's what you want? All right. That the mayor and the city commission of the city of Ann Arbor does hereby approve the policy change that only government-related events will be held in City Center Park and downtown and all others may apply for use of J. Clark Park or another suitable park location. So, and that being said, then there will be no more music playing, and there'll be no more people going out there just doing willy-nilly what they want to do. Is that what we're saying?
No, because as a park, any person can go out there and just sit and enjoy themselves.
But 300 people is an event.
But one of the first things I'm going to do, and I think you made a great suggestion, I'm gonna have the fire department go to each one's parks and rate them for how many people they can safely handle. And put it on a sign and put it up in the park. Because that's what we're trying to do, is get the stuff up there, trying to get it right.
So after, because this is what's happening, and let's just be open and honest. After Blossom Time is one of our largest events. It's bigger than any other event that we usually have downtown. And we have food trucks that'll be downtown. And people start putting their tents up and putting their chairs out and putting everything out. There's no fee that you can charge to be down there, but then there's an event that's gonna happen.
But the event is not in the park. There's no application for.
Yeah, it is,
when that's done.
they pop up with 5 or 6 DJs, and I'm not saying nothing against, Commissioner Edwards. They pop up with 5 or 6 DJs, or 3, 4, how many is it? 3?
River, on the river is 3.
No, I'm talking about,
After the Blossom Parade?
Yeah.
We only had one DJ because they were concerts.
okay, so you pop up a concert, people are sitting out there. Then we need to move that to the other part and have people come down there, because you're gonna have food trucks, you're gonna have everything. And I'm just being, maybe I'm more just being in front of it than behind it. There's gonna be people out there. And I was down there last year, and there were people out there. So what happens if somebody wants to throw a concert? They're no longer able to throw a concert down there either, because we had a concert down there which Benton Harbor enjoyed, and it was phenomenal.
And a concert would be considered an event, which is different than a parade coming down the street, ending, and people walk over and start buying snow cones or whatever and sitting around and just enjoying the park. They can do that any day of the week, 365 days a year. An event is an organized function where the specific thing is in the park and that they're applying and telling you exactly what they're going to do in that event.
I would ask that we don't, I think that, and I'm only one vote, I don't think we should partner with any event. I think people should rent the park on their own, and we don't become partners with anything. That's solely up to anybody who has to vote. I don't feel the need that we have to partner with anything. I think that as a city park, as a city resident, as a city whatever, that we should stand as a city, and we should lease the park to whoever wants to hold the event, and let them do whatever they have to do. But becoming a partner means that we're utilizing expense. I don't know if we have the money to, I know we partner with Blossom Time because our police run up and down the street on four-wheelers and everything else. But I don't think that it behooves us to partner with any event. And I'm only one vote. I don't want to partner with anybody to do. I don't think the city, if somebody's leasing the park, why should we partner if they're in a lease?
With that, so the past 3 years, after the Blossom Parade, you usually give public safety an agreement, 1.5 to 2 hours. You had buses leaving, some people go get their cars, bring it back, but you had kids going home. And right after that is the concert event that I give is from Parks and Rec. It's a city event. And I came up with that because just talking to different people, and I can even remember when I was little. After the Blossom Parade, everybody went home. Or either they went wherever they was gonna go, nothing was given by the city. And I did apply, we always paid our insurance the whole 9 yards. We even cleaned up after whole 9 yards, public safety knew.
No, Commissioner,
This is
I'm not disputing the fact that the city can't have an event.
Okay,
What I'm saying is that if we're partnering with events, then why don't we just call it a city event and not say we're partnering with any individual or any entity to have an event? Just call it a city event and we move forward. If you out there DJing and we say that's Benton Harbor's event, then let's leave it at Benton Harbor's event. But to say that we're partnering, because partnering has a whole burden of a lot. When I partner with you to do something, that's insurance, that's money, that's all kind of things. So if we're partnering, then we're gonna run into, I just wanna make sure that we say it's a city event, and we do city events. And if we start partnering with events, then let's find a process to partner. And again, you know, I don't mind this, it was already passed by one, so why we bring it here?
Have any final thoughts, Mr. Little?
Not really, because I'm not aware of any that we're partnering in. As I mentioned, the examples again that I used, National Night Out, that's police department and so forth. The Juneteenth event, we don't partner with, but we consider it a city-related event because, one, we got a commissioner involved with it. We are actually committed that they're starting out at the parking lot down here, and they don't clean it up, that we'll get it cleaned up. Those things we're being related to the city is different than, because I understand what you're saying. We require all these groups doing these leases to also provide us an insurance certificate so that we can protect the city in the event somebody gets hurt or whatever at these things.
Commissioner Henry, are you waiting to speak? Commissioner Henry.
Thank you. Well, I always have to bring my human in.
Hold your button down. Thank
No,
you.
no, no, gotta hold hers.
it don't work.
I always have to bring my human infrastructure in. Now, what we've been doing in the past when residents wanna have a birthday party or something, a small one, and that could be 25 people. Now, my question is, when they set up tents and blow up toys and that says there's something bigger than your family birthday, the 5-year-old birthday party or something like that. So, is that the criteria for saying that these are events when they rent the tents and the blow-ups and they actually have a big portion of the park? June Woods Park is a very small park. They don't have too much room but to play basketball or for kiddie play. So, it's a neighborhood park. And, the parks belong to the residents. And if they have to pay money to go in there and have a small event, that doesn't sit well with me. $100, if I'm having a small event, there's only one, what do you call it?
Pavilion.
Tent or pavilion in that little park. And so now somebody goes in there and then when that park was there, it was a kiddie park. It was for kids, babies. And now it's for big boys to play basketball, 2 full courts and a whole lot of other stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out how do we keep it free to the neighborhood people on a small scale. And,
It still would be. I wouldn't, if somebody wants to go out there with roll out their barbecue grill and there's 10, 15, 20 family people and a bunch of kids, that's not an event.
Well,
you don't have to
I'm gonna
buy
agree.
one.
I'm gonna agree with Mr. Little. If you think about a kid, the parents would bring a cake probably, you might have 10 kids playing on the swings. That wouldn't really be an event. So that's just like the community enjoying the park.
through the chair,
So they wouldn't have to pay $100.
through the chair.
So if I decide I'm gonna have a big event at June Woods Park and I paid $100, do that allow it to still be a public park that it's available to?
Give me your number on that bid.
Well, I think, let's talk apples and apples, not apples and oranges. We're not talking about when people just come out to utilize. We're talking about when people just come out to, make sure nobody else comes. So if they're leasing or renting, that means that I have sole autonomy over that park,
Or at least a part of it.
a part of it for that time.
Section.
So if somebody come out there with a birthday cake and a barbecue grill, and we know our city, if you just get 10 people and you got a barbecue grill and a cake out there, you ain't doing something right. So,
And like she asked about blowing up the balloons and stuff, I see that all over town in
Everywhere.
people's yards.
Yeah.
So that doesn't define anything.
but if you want sole autonomy over that area, or that time, or that pavilion, then there should be a fee, but I want to, because now, this birthed something else, and you said something, and I appreciate you saying it, because you brought it up. People are no longer gonna be able to have these little so-called birthday parties or family reunions and put them up in the yard and have 500-600 people there and say we said they can do it. That's not gonna happen. It can't. There's no way to regulate it.
That's correct.
So, I mean, we've had house parties where kids have left dead, frozen in the snow, all kind of things. And so no longer, we have to put some kind of restraints on what's going on, because if somebody said they're having a family reunion and they want to block off the street, they gotta come through the full body.
Absolutely.
And no longer can we allow that, because, we have to do something about it. So if Cazenay or whoever can go out to these parks and give us the limit on the parks, I have no problem with passing this forward. But if we don't put some kind of purpose, because we did put Martin Luther King out there, and he was cold out there all winter. I didn't see nobody going to see him. But it did restrict some areas of the park.
Yeah.
And we do need to put a safe limit that's able to be controlled by public safety. And that's even with all the buildings, and I'm serious, I'm saying that even with Harbor Towers and everywhere else, because if those people get in trouble and there's a fire, we need to have some kind of plan in place to help them get out of that. Because if there's a fire and that elevator ain't working, we have to find some kind of disaster plan and that's with anything. You never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So we have to figure out something to make sure our city residents are safe. And I don't want kids, I'm not saying, this is not a kiddie park out there. You have 4 roads that are located around the street and be harmed. So we have to figure out something. Maybe we can do something. I mean, I know we didn't want to put a fence up there, balls and all that, but we have to figure out a way to keep the kids safe.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
And if I can offer a closing remark on my part, I assure you, I will do my best to use reasonableness and fairness and try to accomplish what we really want to accomplish, and that is people have a safe, enjoyable experience in the city. One thing you will be hearing me come back on, I'm going to be looking for ways to provide parking near these parks. It troubles me that we don't want people driving on the grass, for example, in Union Park, because one of these days, one of them small kids is gonna be crawling around that grass and somebody gonna run over and kill them. And if we aren't keeping people out of it, that's gonna increase our liability. But at the same time, we're saying we don't want them on the grass, we need to provide some angular parking around the outside, so there is a place to park.
That's my next meeting that I'm going to, we need more sidewalks in certain areas. Because people, for some reason, want to walk in the street. And if we don't like the pathways up, then you come up on somebody with dark colored clothes. I mean, nobody tries to hit a deer, nobody tries to hit a dog, nobody tries to hit anything. But if we don't do something and safely, and especially in the summer, because for some reason, people are driving fast down these new streets.
And for some older people going down the street, it can get difficult sometimes to see a car that's parked there on the street this dark. You know, you see it when you get up on it.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, Mr. Little, you're gonna work with, Director K on getting capacity signs?
To do all the things necessary to try to make this work the way you want it to work.
So do we wanna move it forward, or do we need to wait until you redo the resolution and add the capacity?
No, if you would move it forward, I'll just do that as
Well-
a part of the course of business.
Can we, just for the sake of, through the chair, who I appreciate greatly for chairing the meeting tonight and keeping me straight. I did it. No. And to Commissioner Henry, I appreciate you also. For this, I would ask that we strike two. I don't even want it read, I don't even want to say it. And we just go forward. I don't think it's necessary.
What is to,
The whereas, I'm not even gonna go into it. I wanted to say, whereas the city of Ben Harbor has a number of parks throughout the city. Then after that, whereas the manager and staff want to ensure that events that are large or have the potential to become large or possible difficult.
Last page.
The approval of amended.
okay,
You get what I'm saying?
yes, that's fine.
All right, so we go from 1, 3, 4, and then we do 1, 3, 4, and then we just move it on. But I don't think that part is even necessary. And whoever has to say something about it, then they can say whatever they want to say. But, I mean, you can't drive a car looking through the rearview mirror.
Okay, so just to confirm, we're going to move the resolution forward, with Mr. Little adding capacity for each park, and we're gonna, not include point two.
Whereas, yeah, the whereas. We're not gonna even include it, that's
Okay.
I only got one question. So, what's the possibility if we take this to the full body and then they wanna send us back, as opposed of we have all this done at the next meeting?
I don't think there's a need, I mean, it's getting ready to get hot. I just think we need to move it, and by then, the city attorney have it. And I think it'd be, and if Cass has done parks, some of them at least, to give us capacity limits that will be safe. And if, Commissioner, you get out there and you have 500 people, then you have to tell 200 of them to go home or 300 to go home. And just keep what you got, seriously. Because then we have to define what becomes an event. And instead of usage, an event. Because I can go down there right now and get a line of probably about 50. And then people do that at City Center Park anyway. They line up to give away clothes, they give away all kind of things down there. And we need to define what becomes an event, or what's capacity that we're trying to stop. So thank you, Commissioner Warren.
Okay, So we're gonna go ahead and move on to public comments. If there's, Commissioner Henry.
I just got a comment about City Center Park. We've had lilacs in City Center Park since I was a little girl. It was huge lines of them, beautiful flowers, and the aroma just come off. Some people out of Grand Rapids come in and pulled a lot of them up. But I noticed that last year, the grass cutting cut them down. And I'm like, who don't know that those are flowers? It's not grass. So I'm gonna ask, through the chair, city manager, please stop them from cutting the lilacs down in City Park. Thank you.
I don't know if Dr. King likes flowers, but they cut a lot of them down, they cut a lot of stuff down with that too. Cause it was beautiful, it was just remarkable. I know what you're talking about, cause I love those flowers. I got them at my house. But, I don't know, I'm so, go ahead, Chair, I'm sorry.
No, finish up your lilac memories.
ESPN.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
All right, so Mr. Little was saying he's gonna stop that. Is there any other public comments?
Nope, I just think we really need to give the citizens a little bit of break on the $100 and the $150 in the park. I just know that my people are, in the poverty level, 49% of them. So I just don't wanna see us being priced out. It's called gentrification, and we can do it to our own self. So that's my issue, and I'll be watching for it.
All right,
Can we put some trash cans out, is it trash cans always out there? And then we chain them up, or what do we do?
No, they're not chained, but if you wanna steal one, I think you'll get tired before you steal it. I mean, they're heavy metal trash cans.
And then can we put a dumpster out there?
No,
A small dumpster?
no.
Well, you know what?
We're gonna order some new trash cans. though.
Well, we say we don't want them, but I'd rather have them put them in a dumpster than
You'll
put them
find a
in the
body
alley.
in there.
Wives,
But then you find furniture,
We'll find other stuff to dump in there.
I'd rather have it there than you put it in somebody's yard or put it in
And it's
somebody's
gonna cost
alley.
the city more money to dump these dumpsters,
Let's dump
these
them.
couches.
But that's a different trash group that's dumping in the alleys. They're pulling a truck up there, pushing it off the back and taking it off.
Well, you know, and y'all don't like the name, but Curly Williams used to go down the alley and pick up all that stuff and dump them off. I don't know who was doing it. But I'd rather have them in that landfill than us having to come pick them up later on, seriously. Because there's a lot of still legal dumping going on.
And we're gonna have to somehow catch people doing that. One of the things that I remember years ago, every police vehicle had a spotlight on it. And they used to ride up and down the neighborhoods and they shine spotlights down on alleys and whatnot. And they catch people. And if need be, we may have to go back to doing something like that to stop it. Because a lot of these folks, a lot of these people are getting paid to dump that stuff and they're taking and dumping it in the alley.
Okay, so if there's nothing further, we're going to adjourn the meeting.
thank you all.
How many air purifiers do you still have?
Two.